The JASL released in a statement that this is, quote, a move considered retrograde of any parliamentary committee, given that countries around the world are moving away from this, having realized its deleterious effects on public health, end quote. The committee's report was tabled in Parliament last Tuesday. The interest group said that it is also disappointed that the committee failed to recommend legislative amends that would be broadening the Sexual Offences Act to adopt a gender-neutral language throughout the legislation, broadening the definition of sexual intercourse to include the penetration of the mouth or anus by a penis or any other body part or object, and broadening the offense of rape to include the non-consensual penetration of the mouth or anus by a penis or object. It said greater effort has to be made to protect the most vulnerable from violence and abuse. The JASL noted with disappointment the decision by the Joint Select Committee of Parliament, established to review the Sexual Offences Act and other related acts, not to amend several key pieces of legislation aimed at protecting the most vulnerable populations from violence and abuse, in keeping with the organization's 2016 recommendations. The report of the Joint Select Committee, which comes over a year after the committee heard submissions and held a retreat to discuss the matter, failed to consider and review critical existing pieces of legislation which purport, among other things, to protect women, children, the disabled, and the elderly from violence and abuse, with particular emphasis on the offences and punishment under these pieces of legislation. The entity says it believes that a more comprehensive discussion on the matter is imminent to adequately address the needs of the vulnerable and safeguard the nation's health. Janae Williams, Frontline News.